I want us to look at an example of how labeling an emotional experience accurately in a couples therapy session can really help resolve a conflict that the couples thought was not solvable. Now, typically in this case scenario, the wife would be the one making the booking for the couples therapy session, and the complaint would be lack of reciprocity in the relationship. So this would be after the wife has discussed with the husband that there's a problem in their relationship, and identifying the problem as lack of reciprocity and wanting to find a solution for it. And in this case, the wife would be more bothered by the lack of reciprocity than the husband. So both of them are coming in knowing what the problem is, lack of reciprocity. And so we start getting into the session, and the wife begins by saying what the problem is. So she expresses that she feels there's a mismatch in how much work they're putting into the relationship or into the marriage. And so the wife feels like she loves the husband more than the husband loves her. The wife feels like she is doing more to show the husband affection, care, than what the husband is doing to show her the same care, the same affection. So that is the lack of reciprocity. And she would give an example of things that she does that the husband doesn't do in return. And so once the wife finishes her part of the complaint, then the husband now comes in and either responds to it or gives her part of the story, his part of the story, sorry. And so the husband would acknowledge that, yes, I don't do the things that you do for me, but would go on to say, but I do these other things for you. So for example, the wife would complain that when the husband goes out with his friends, he calls him to check on him, to see how he's doing. But when the wife goes out with her friends, the husband doesn't do the same. So that's one of the things that would be on the list that makes the wife feel the lack of reciprocity. And so you let them say their side of the story, and then the wife gets to a point where she says, the things you do for me, I don't see them as showing love, as showing affection, as showing commitment, as showing attention, because I can do those things for myself. Those are not the things that I want you to do for me. These are the things that I want you to do for me. And then the husband says, but that is how I love you in my own way. That is how I reciprocate the love that you show me. And then the wife says, no, but I want you to do these things. And then you allow for a few seconds silence for them to let that sink in, because that is the breakthrough. That is the problem. Reciprocity is not actually the issue. Reciprocity is what they thought the issue was when they were coming in, but now as they are talking, they realize that the problem is actually receptivity. The wife has a specific way, a particular way that she wants the husband to show love to her, that the husband is not complying to. So the wife is giving the husband clues, suggestions, ideas on how she wants to be loved by him. And the husband is not resonating with those ideas. He has his own. So the love is there, the affection is there. It's just the way that it's been conveyed. The wife wants to control the way the husband loves her. And so when they start now getting into the actual problem, they realize that the husband has a way of showing love to the wife that the wife doesn't consider as love. And the same for the husband. There are times when the husband finds it uncomfortable. There are times when the husband doesn't really like how many calls the wife makes to him, but he tolerates it because he understands that's her way of loving him. But when the husband does the same to her, it bothers her. When the husband tries to love her the way he wants to love her, it bothers her. And so it starts boiling down to, the wife says, you don't love me the way I love you. And the husband says, yes, that's absolutely true. I don't love you the way you love me, but I love you the way I love you. And that's what the issue is. And so once you're able to bring that out, once you're able to accurately label the problem, that it's about lack of receptivity, that the wife is bothered by, the need to control how she's loved, how she's cared for, how she's paid attention to, that is actually causing the problems in the relationship, then you start doing the work. And so labeling what we're experiencing as accurately as possible is the first step to solving the problem. People want to find solutions without actually sitting on the problem to name what the problem is, to understand how big the problem is, to understand if there is a problem to begin with. They start looking for solutions. But the time you spend to understand the problem, to name it as accurately as possible, is the first step. When you skip that, you're not likely to get a solution.